Good evening and welcome to another beer review. I want to thank the folks over at Low Places Brew Company for sending this my way. Now understand, this is not going to be a biased review. This is going to be an honest review, as I usually do. We're going to be looking at what he said to check out first, which was the Red Ale, coming at 5.5% alcohol by volume. It's called Tuck and Roll. I like it. I like the name. So I haven't had a red ale in a while. You don't see many of them out here. So it's good to see that these guys are sort of starting with some interesting beers that basically you don't see a lot of. Red ale being one, and I've also got a honey blonde in my fridge as well, waiting to be reviewed. These guys are a contract brewery, and they're contracting out of, I want to say, High River Brewing, out in Turner Valley, or Diamond, is it Diamond Turner now? No, it's High River. Sorry, High River, my bad. I was thinking of something else. So, that being said, let's have a quick peek here and see what we have. We've got a very copper looking ale. That actually looks really good. We got about 1.5 fingers worth of head off there. Seems to be good. Little hazy on there, but it actually looks quite nice. The smell, smells like an ale. That smells pretty simple. Smells like it could be easy drinking. I like the smell. You have sort of like a sweetness and as well as the malt forward on it. I like that. Well, let's get into it. Again, Low Places Brew Company, thank you very much. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to everyone out there. Let's get into this. You know, I haven't had a red ale like that in a while. That's a nice, easy drinking red ale. It stays on your tongue. You have a malt forward. There's a little sweetness on there, a little woody note with it as well. And then there's a small bitterness that stays on the back of the tongue for a bit. That is a decent red ale. I'm liking that. It's nothing too fancy, okay? It's nothing too fancy. It's not anything that you could go out of your way for because it's absolutely different from everything else. But it's a red ale that you don't find a lot of in Alberta. I don't find a lot of red ales overall. That's more of a fall drink, fall to winter style. But at the same point in time, this works for the summer. I honestly could see myself sitting back, relaxing while doing a barbecue. Some nice chicken, barbecue chicken. I would even pair this with a steak. That's what I would pair that with. It's a nice steak. It's got that nice balanced note that the steak would probably complement it. It's one of their beers that they want to sort of have, from what I was told, they want to have it where it basically, if you're not a craft beer drinker, you can go and turn to this and have this. If you're a craft beer drinker and you want something that's easy drinking and it is a craft beer, you can go to this as well. And they're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. Like, this is a good, what I call a stepping stone beer into craft beer. If you're looking for someone, if someone's looking for a red ale or close to a brown ale, for example, and they want to see something that isn't a macro, This is what I would call a good stepping stone beer. It actually hits the mark where you can actually say, okay, it's a craft beer, but it has something else that's not overpowering. It's not scary to people who don't drink craft beer. It actually feels comfortable, or it tastes comfortable, where people can sit down and have a couple of these. I like where they're going with this. I really do. And honestly, that is actually a really good beer to have as a stepping stone beer. Again, not a lot of people do that. Normally you'd find someone going into a bitter IPA, or try to do a hazy pale ale, or just an IPA or a hazy IPA as some of their starting stones. These guys went a little bit different. They went into a red ale, and the blonde, a honey blonde as well, which will be up for review later on. Honestly, that is a good beer. For the style it is a good beer. It's nothing to write home about. It's not extraordinary. I mean, it's something that people could sit down and enjoy. There's nothing fancy about it. It's a simple recipe and it works. So my score for this, for the style, it's a style that you don't normally have. For the taste, it's a good taste. You know what? It's up there. It's an 8.5 for me, an 8.5 out of 10. I like this beer. I can sit down and I would probably enjoy having a couple of these with dinner, while I'm barbecuing, or playing games, which I'm going to be doing next. It's an easy drinking beer. You know what? It's kind of taking me back. It's kind of taking me back to a Rickard's Red back in the day, when Rickard's Red was actually different, okay? Not the Rickard's Red that you find today, where it's macro produced and has all these different junky shit in it. It takes me back to a Rickard's Red that I had back when I was 19, 20 years old, because we're not allowed to drink when we're 18 in BC. And we'd have something like that. Rickard's Red, and there was also Whistler Red. Because if I remember correctly, Whistler Red if I remember correctly, Whistler was part of the things down there. And they had a red ale too. And when I was 19, I went out with my family, and I wanted something different. And they had this red ale. It was either a Rickard's Red or it was a Whistler Red, and I can't remember because it was a long time ago, okay? But I enjoyed it. And this is the beer that takes me back to that. This is the beer that reminds me, I was sitting in a nice restaurant with my family on my 19th birthday before I got absolutely shit-faced, because this is my 19th, and I enjoyed that beer. That was my starting beer for the night. It was a really good beer. I really enjoyed it. It has the flavors of what I had back then. And yes, I remember that, because you know what? There's some certain memories that bring you back. That's one of them. So tell me, have you had this one before? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Again, from Low Places Brew Company, their contract brew out of High River Brewing Company. This is Tuck and Roll, a 5.5% red ale. Congratulations, guys. That is a really good beer. It brought me back. It gave me some memories. That works. I really do like that. So until next time, I'm Dan, aka the Western Canadian Reviewer, saying cheers. Stay frosty. We'll see you real soon. Thanks again for joining. Try and stay comfortable out there. It's been hot. I'm down in my basement right now, and it feels so comfortable down here. Till next time, have a great night. Cheers, everybody.
Have a good night. Sleep well.
Thank you, Alexa. Thank you.